let's just say I had a very shitty sleep-induced end of the week. And let's fucking move on. Without further fucking ado, believe me when I tell you, when it's done, it'll be worth it. Just trust me.
Let's see if we're going to go to blue blood. Going back to understanding a blue blood is a European person because they don't have pigment in their skin that you can see their blue veins.
I'm starting with this. This is what I'm calling the appetizer. We're breaking into the middle of this conversation because it is important. None of this conversation really is important. But we're going to break in here because what they're talking about isn't germane to what's going on right now. And I love Jermaine. Jermaine's a good guy with me. But it isn't germane to what's going on right now. You know, this is the appetizer. Enjoy. Here's your mozzarella sticks.
Exactly. And blood is blue until oxygen, the air hit it, and it turns red.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
Democrat, Republican Party.
Red
you see,
and
it's
blue.
not
Bloods and Crips.
Exactly.
Hey. Battle for Blood Gulch. Red versus blue.
They set that kind of thing, Hegelian dialectic principle.
Yeah.
The opposing forces controlled by the same people.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, that appetizer, right? You can already kind of tell where they're at in their high, like they're peaking, right? Now we're gonna ride it through.
So then let's go to what it really is then when we talk about the power of melanated people.
I don't know why, but every time he says melanated people, I can't help but laugh. Like, it was something that went through my fucking head since I started talking about wanting to do this. That melanated people has just been fucking, I have not been able to get it out of my head. And then, like, one day, and this is going to sound bad, but this is what he did to me. He put this in my fucking head. I had never heard the phrase melanated people before. I come to find out it's not actually a term. Nevertheless, I was saying it in my head one day, just over and over again, and then I said it, and I went, Mel and ate it. People. Melon ate it, people. And I was like, oh my god, that's so racist, and that fucking, like, dude. Before I name anything, I already try to figure out what people are going to say to make fun of it, just so that I can be prepared. More people that are naming things need to fucking do that shit. Because melanated people...
When we talk about who we really are as guys and understanding that our melanin is so powerful and it connects us in a way that the reason why they fear black, the reason why they fear is because the lack that they have of it.
So a lot just went on there. The melanin has such power and gives such a connection between black people that it's something to be feared. And the first time I heard this, it reminded me of Star Wars. Remember? You guys remember when they made episode 1 and they were just kind of like fiddling around with things to see how people were going to react to it? And they came up with midi-chlorians, right? That were these little microscopic things in your blood that gave you your force power, right? And the higher your midi-chlorian count, the more powerful in the force you were. Everybody remember how they dropped that shit? Like in this episode 2? And they never fucking talked about that shit again? Because everybody went, fucking what? And like, this... The melanin is midi-chlorians. Dude, it's pronounced midi-chlorians. And it's not real. It doesn't exist. And we all have melanin in our skin. It's just some people have like lots more of it than others. But we all got it. I just it surrounds us all and it binds us together. Light on one side, dark on the other.
So then when you see what, Dr. Francis C. Welsling talked about is that fear in that.
All right, I just want to stop here because I always get these comments because I frequently don't give a fuck. And I go, I can hear it. If you can't hear it, I don't know what to tell you. I can hear it just fine. And I'm practically deaf. So if I can hear it, I always figure anybody should be able to hear it. Sometimes I frequently get complaints about the difference in the audio volume from my audio to the clip. And I'm going to tell you right now, I have this boosted to fucking maximum. Right? But Mr. Cannon is so professional that he cannot speak into the microphone properly. Like if you see the other guy is right up on that mic. He's a fucking professional. And when he talks, you can hear it. Because I have it blasting at 500. The highest I can set the volume to is 500. It goes from 100, which is just basic, to 500. This is 5 times volume. So if you have a problem with not being able to hear it, explain to Nick how to do his fucking job.
Just genetic annihilation.
Deficiency of when you have a person that has the lack of pigment, the lack of melanin, that they know that they will be annihilated.
Like it's an instinctual thing that we know. We know just by the skin color that we will be annihilated by those people. Oh my god, the amount of movie references I'm coming up with is fucking insane. Everybody remember the Kevin Costner Robin Hood? Where the ugly witch, the crone, she kept having dreams of the painted man that was going to come and kill her? I don't know if it's like a scavenger hunt. No, I put a shit ton of like movie references in it. You got to figure out the movie references. All of that was just nonsensical horseshit that we were talking. It was all movie references. It's a scavenger hunt. Whoever fucking figures it all out can win. I might win.
So therefore, however they got the power, they have the lack of compassion. That melanin comes with compassion.
Melanin comes with compassion. I mean, like, okay. I think he fucked up my brain.
Melanin comes with soul, that we call it. We call it soul. We soul brothers and sisters.
Now, I mean, are you talking... Because here's the thing that I think might be misinterpreted by people. Because, like, it still doesn't fucking make sense. Like, I've been told I got a lot of soul. Because I could dance. Like, I got rhythm. I could dance. Like, I've had people tell me a lot that I got a lot of soul. I've had black people come up to me and say, you're the first white boy I've ever met that had soul. And I'm always like, okay. So, like, okay. Are you saying that it's exclusive to having high concentrations of melanin in your skin? Like, is it? Yes, master. I am but a Padawan.
That's the melanin that connects us.
Right.
So the people that don't have it are a little, and I'm gonna say this carefully, are.
Now remember, he said he's going to say this carefully. You judge what follows.
A little less and where the term actually comes from, because I'm bringing it all the way back around to Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, what a surprise!
To where they may not have the compassion or the when they were sent to the mountains of Caucasus, when they didn't have the power of the sun.
So it's like a mix of Jedi and Superman. It's the yellow sun that gives them their power. And wait a minute, if we were sent to the mountains, how would we not have the power of the sun? We would actually be far closer to it. Jesus, that doesn't make sense on a lot of levels.
That the sun then started to deteriorate them. So then they're
okay. So I guess since white people were in mountains and closer to the sun, that it deteriorated us. I don't know how that gives other people power of the sun, but hey, you know, we're all insecure, you know?
Acting out of fear.
Probably fear of all that compassion.
They're acting out of low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. Look, man. I'm not saying anything about anybody's self-esteem except my own. But I know one thing for certain. I've never sat around and theorized as to why other people's that I may not particularly care for or respect are in any way lesser than myself. I've never sat around with somebody else and theorized as to how anybody is lesser than myself. Again, I'm not saying anything about anybody else's self-esteem. I'm only speaking about mine.
They're acting out of a deficiency. So,
a deficiency of melanin. I wonder if there's actually a way to fix that problem. I wonder if we could you take like melanin supplements?
Therefore, the only way that they can act is evil.
Because, right? And this is where I might be considered racist. But I'm just... This is a so what you're saying is moment, right? I admit it. I don't care. So because we don't have dark skin, that's why we're evil. Like, I don't even really need to point out that if somebody were to say the opposite, because their skin is so dark, that's why they're so evil. It's racist. Like, it's racist to say. It's racist to say because their skin is so light, that's why they're evil. You're making quite a statement. That's quite a boast. Okay. Whatever. We don't care about it. It's his truth.
The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight. Okay.
In order to survive.
Like, dude, seriously, like now we're looking at Das Boot. Like, this is all coming out of fucking whatever, like the Hitler's manifesto, man. Like this is some KKK level shit. All you're doing is changing a few words. Like you're just changing the people who are saying it and the people they're saying it about. Everything else is right there. Like, I don't understand how people can't, like, see that. Like, how people can possibly be so blind to that. That's literally all you're changing. Who's saying it and who they're saying it about. It's not enough of a change to actually make it be, you know, different.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
The melanated people. Again, just melanated people, it always brings a smile to my face. But seriously, you're just changing who's saying it and who they're saying it about. It's no different than any time I've ever heard some KKK asshole talk about white people, melanated people. It's just...
They had to be savages. They had to be barbaric. Because they're in these Nordic mountains. They're in these rough, torrential environments. So they're acting as animals.
Now, for those of you who have been around a while, you might remember when I read off my genealogy. And you would remember that I am a Nordic descendant. That's where my people come from. Right? And I'm going to tell you this right now. Was it survival? Yeah. In the beginning? Sure. Then we saw how soft the rest of the world was in other places. And then it became because we were strong. And we didn't have to work for what we fucking wanted. We took it. It became a way of life. Us Viking folk. It wasn't a hobby. We did it because it was fun. Actually, that would be, it wasn't a job. We did it because it was, you get my point.
Right.
So they're the ones that are actually closer to animals. They're the ones that are actually the true savages. And then they built up such this, I don't want to say warrior, but they built up such this conquering, barbaric mentality that they're coming out of Europe. They then said, in order for us to survive, we have to take what's not ours.
See, my counter argument would be that they were surviving just fine where they were. What they wanted was more of what they didn't have. So they went off looking to see if they could find that. And they did. And they found a lot more too. And they were like, well, look, as long as these people are willing to let us just take everything from them, there won't be any problems. Of course, nobody's really willing to do that. But when you've literally got sticks and loincloths, and you're going up against swords and armor, you don't stand much of a chance. So it just got to be, well, we don't fucking care. We want it. Like, this was a lot more selfish time. You're talking hundreds of years ago. We all do remember that he's talking like hundreds of years ago, right? I just want to make it clear, we're talking hundreds of years ago.
And then they went into the land that actually where we are originated. And instead of trying to make friends, they said, we want what you got. Because there's this mentality of whether it's the Caesars or even that we have to conquer.
Right.
So I say all that to say the context. And when we speak of whether it's Jewish people, white people, Europeans, the Illuminati, they were doing that as survival tactics to stay on this planet.
Right, because...
Nah, it just doesn't wash with me. Like, they were into the exploration phase. Like, if you're going by civilization now, they were a full age and a half ahead of you. Like, they did it because they could, man. I'm not trying to say that that's an excuse. I'm not trying to say that's a valid excuse. I'm very much saying it's not a valid excuse to say, well, we can, so fuck you. Like, that's not good. But I'm also speaking in 2020 to people who live in 2020 when we don't do that kind of shit anymore because it's wrong. We've learned that we can be above that. That's why we don't like Russia for the whole annexation of Crimea. They tried to take Crimea. And we're like, we had a problem with that. That exact shit. Because we can. We're not happy with China for so many reasons right now, but one of them is because of Hong Kong. They're trying to take over Hong Kong. Because they can. And that's not cool. And we don't like that. Like the shit he's talking about, we don't like anymore. None of us do. It's wrong. That's why. We've evolved past that. So what? Like...
We never had to do that.
Right, because they've learned when they circumnavigated the globe and they ran into these islands and these places, and we were already there to greet them.
Right. With open arms.
With open arms, teaching them, but then...
But
when
they were deficient.
They were deficient, so they wanted to get what they thought we had, and we did have it. So the rape took place of the woman. The theft took place of the natural resources.
And then that's when their disease.
Exactly.
That's where their mentality, because I'm trying to get to that place of how they were able to get control over the gods.
That's a long clip. And there is a lot going on in there. And I imagine you guys are like, there was so many great breaks you could have had in there. No. You have to trust me. I'm going to do this all at once. Ready? Can you imagine the audacity of just that clip that you just heard when you put it into the perspective of reality at that time? Again, I'm not excusing any bad behavior of the past. I'm just saying bad behavior happened in the past. Like, there was once upon a time, way back in our past, where we literally just beat each other and ate each other and fucked each other and didn't give a shit, like because we couldn't really communicate. Like, we were Neanderthals. Like, if you want to go back far enough, man, you can find some really bestial shit just with people. Just with people. So, whatever. Nevertheless, just the audacity of this statement, when you put it into the perspective of that time period. You're leaving on a boat that's made out of wood and pitch, with a cloth fucking, thing that's literally handmade. The best machinery they had at the time was called a plane. No, it wasn't something you flew in. It was a thing that had a handle here and a handle here and a razor blade in the middle. And you could fucking plane out wood and make it smooth wood. That was the height of fucking technology at the time. We're talking literally fucking handmade seafaring vessels that you were able to plot a course into the unknown. Like, they didn't have globes. They didn't have world maps. They were literally going out and creating that shit as they went. They were leaving into the fucking unknown. And they found land. They found more unknown. But holy shit, unknown that we could walk upon, live upon. Who knows what's there? It's the unknown, right? But it took lots of fucking effort to get there. And then to land on that stretch of land, and to have people with stick spears, wearing loincloths, walk up and be like, friends from other world, right? And yeah, at the time there was a whole lot of holy shit, there's fucking people here, right? It wasn't until the assholes, like in Discovery phase you know, you got a discovery phase. And then that's where you go, oh, we should fucking find out if we can communicate with these people, because God knows what they can tell us. This is all the unknown. We don't know what's going on. Look at them. They're so weird and different. They look so much more rough than we do. And we've been on a boat for months. Right? But, you know, then you see these people who are living in stick huts. Right? The gods living in stick huts. Right? And you think about where you came from. And these people are going to teach you what exactly? Like, other than, ooh, what's that? What exactly are they going to teach you? Like, just the absurdity of the audaciousness of that statement, when you put it into the context of the time, when you compare the effort that it took to get there, and then to have these people that had nowhere even fucking remotely close to that capability going, we're going to teach you about life. We're going to teach you about the world. Like, the world teaches hard fucking lessons. But look where we've come. Like, that's the part that nobody's paying attention to. Where we've gotten since then. It isn't perfect and it isn't everywhere. But, Jesus Christ. It's a hell of a lot fucking better than it was in 1776! Wait a minute. 1492. 1776. 1492! Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I'm sorry. Going back even further than that. 1492. Over 500 years ago. Shit was a lot rougher. And it was a lot rougher 500 years before that. We all got it pretty fucking good.
How were they able to get control over their
once
original
they learned that, though, and now they raped and impregnated, left and came back, and they saw the child lighter, they said, wow, that's when they learned genetics. Genetic annihilation.
I'll admit, this part, I'm totally lost.
So now you have to set up a system of white supremacy to control that.
Right.
Genetic annihilation? Of who? Like, is that the plan? We're gonna breed blackness out of the world? Okay.
So now we have 13 families here. Illuminati that's manipulating and controlling. Subgroups.
See, like, man, when you try so hard to take somebody seriously and then they start throwing out the new Illuminati and start laying out this fucking map, man.
Now we got to set up organizations.
Coming out of Europe.
You understand what I'm saying? And for that same system, now you're talking about survival. What you just laid out. Now it's fight or flight. Now we have to set up these systems in order to survive.
Right.
But listen, not just survive to get some damn some hamburger buns and some cheese. I'm talking about on a genetic level.
Yeah, but if white people interbred with black people to breed out blackness, wouldn't they also be breeding out whiteness?
Genetic, because they will, and that's even from the white nationalists to the white supremacy mentality.
Your mentality. You're talking on that mentality, dude. You're right fucking there with them. So what? What do you got to say about it?
To Donald Trump himself wanting to build walls.
Right.
They're trying to keep their, what they consider purity.
You building a lot of fucking bridges right now, motherfucker?
Exactly, on a subconscious
trying to stay
level.
alive.
Because sometimes they don't know why they acting out.
I love that. They don't know why they acting out. You know how many times I've heard that, and every time I thought it was racist. Silly me.
It's just been proven. Was National Geographic just put it out by 2050? Every person will be a person of color
in a minute.
They saying that's as soon as 2050.
So
in 2050, every person will be a person of color. Well, that's 30 years from now. And I will be 70. Probably still going to be here. Probably still not going to be a person of color. And all of the white couples that I know that have white kids, their kids probably still going to be here. Probably still not going to be a person of color. So, like, I can't, with this kind of shit, dude, I can't take it serious. I can't help but fucking laugh at it because it's so fucking stupid. No matter what color you are saying it, and no matter what color you're saying it about, it's still fucking stupid.